Hey, I'm Stephanie, and it's time to declutter some primers. I'm in the midst of a massive makeup collection overhaul, so you might have already seen some of my other declutters of my other product categories, but I will link to the playlist just in case you missed them and you'd like to catch up. Today is all about face primers, which is going to be a tricky category for me because I'm doing this declutter with a very clear goal in mind. I am trying to create the time and space in my life to enjoy my favorite things. But primers have never been my favorite things until just a couple of weeks ago. I have recently had several revelations when it comes to primers, thanks to my makeup minimalism experiment and the makeup artist course I'm taking. I'll link videos about both of those in case you'd like more context. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I have no idea how this declutter is going to go. So I guess maybe we should just switch to the overhead camera and attempt a declutter. Here is my face primer collection. This is a cosmetic category that I never thought I really had much interest in, just because I never saw a huge visible difference. At least I never thought I did. But then I did my minimalist makeup challenge where I packed a very minimalist makeup bag and only lived out of that for a while, and I realized how much I missed my primers. Also, since I started taking my online makeup academy course, that has also been teaching me the importance of a good primer. And so this category is actually becoming quite important to me, which I never expected. But here we are. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to get rid of, but we shall see. Let's start off with my tried and true Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base and Vitamin Enriched Eye Base. I do feel like these two are quite different. This formula here is a little bit thicker and a little bit richer. And so I've really enjoyed using this one on the whole face. And this, I actually got this for free as a sample, I think. And so I didn't pay for this. It's not something I normally would have bought. But since I received it I think it was a gift with purchase, I've realized these are two very different formulas. You can tell alone from the color that they're very different, but this one is much thinner and I feel like it is more suited to the under eyes. So I've actually enjoyed having both of these. And I didn't think that I would see a big difference, but my minimalist makeup challenge showed me that when I had to live without these, I noticed a difference in the quality of how my makeup looked. So I'm not going to give either of these away right now because I find that they are really adding value to the makeup process, not only in the fact that they smell nice and that they're nice to apply and that it's an enjoyable experience, but also because I feel like they improve the way my makeup looks. So these are definitely staying. If you've already watched the powder inventory and declutter, then this will look familiar. This is Sisley's Blur Expert powder. And this is one that I use as a primer on my nose. My nose gives me so much trouble when it comes to foundation. And I have found that this makes so many foundations look smoother and really helps cut down on the visibility of my pores. So this is definitely staying. These three primers are kind of on the chopping block. And here's why. I struggle with rosacea, texture, and large pores, especially in the center of my face. And I've been trying to find a good balance between mattifying things, because a lot of times a matte surface will just reflect less light and show less texture. But at the same time, if it looks too dry and too matte, then it can also emphasize texture kind of in the other direction. So I've been trying to find a balance, and I don't know that I've found it yet. What I do know about this primer, this is one I purchased last year in the hopes that it would help keep my makeup on in the heat of summer when I was on stage. And the reality is it doesn't work with my stage foundations. I was trying it with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation and with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. And in both cases, this made those foundations act atrociously on my skin. So this is not compatible with those. However, this does work really nicely when I'm using a more luminous foundation. For example, I use my Dior Skin Forever Correct concealer as a foundation, and that's luminous. And when I use this in combination with that, then I get a lot more staying power. So maybe what I'll do is keep this as long as I have that luminous foundation. Or maybe I should keep this until I repurchase another foundation to see if it's useful. Because I do know it's useful with that one concealer when I'm using that as a foundation. So I think this one will stay for now. But like I said, it doesn't tend to work with my more matte foundations. This one is the newest one to my collection. Someone had decluttered this to me, and basically what happened was this. I've been taking my online makeup academy course, and I am struggling a lot with redness right now. And so my makeup mentor said that it would probably be good to get a green color corrector. I was all out of mine. I didn't have any more. And so instead of going out and buying something, I thought I would look in the little box of things that people have decluttered to me. And this was in there. And it is a green color corrector. So I was like, well, I'll try using this. The only thing is it's glass correct, meaning it gives you quite a dewy base. And as someone with a lot of texture, I'm not sure how I feel about a dewy base. I'm still trying to find that balance between matte and dewy. Ideally, I want a natural finish to my skin. I want it to look like I'm not wearing any makeup. And this makes me look not metallic, but very, very dewy. And I'm still trying to master how to use that. I think this might not be the ideal formula for my skin and my needs, but I'd like to experiment a little bit more with it first, because I don't want to just go out and buy random color correctors when I already have one. And so basically, this is kind of on the chopping block. I don't feel like it's green enough to correct enough of the redness, and I feel like it's maybe too dewy for me. But my makeup mentor did like my makeup application better when I was using this. So maybe there's something to it, and I just need to get used to it and experiment with a little bit more. I've only been using it for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to continue to use this, but I don't know if it will stick around the next time I do a declutter. And this primer here is probably my oldest primer. It's a free sample I got from Guerlain. It's their Radiance Concentrate with Pure Gold primer. I've used this a couple of times, but I haven't used it enough to really get my thoughts on it because I assume it's a luminous primer since it says Radiance Concentrate with Pure Gold. And it's kind of the same with this one. I think I want to experiment with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my vanity so that I think to use it. And I'm going to actively use it for a while and see if I can get used to that radiance. If I use it a couple of times and I just realize it's not for me, then I can give this away because I'm sure someone would enjoy it. But I don't know. I've been very hesitant to use this just because of my texture and me not wanting to draw attention to it. But maybe since this is getting me compliments from my makeup artist mentor, maybe this would also be a good option. And it's so small, I could probably use it up really quickly. So I guess this was more of an inventory than a declutter because I'm not getting rid of anything. But these three are kind of on the chopping block. I'm going to observe my behavior with these, take a closer look at my makeup looks when I use these to see if they're really worth keeping. These I know for sure are worth it. These are ones that I'm going to experiment with more because I'm probably going to have to replace my foundations this year. And I am thinking of trying the House Labs foundation, which is more luminous than my Estee Lauder foundation that I'm currently using. It might be good to hang on to this to see how that works together with that foundation. And as for these two, we'll see if I can get used to the radiance factor these have. And if I can, then I'll be glad to have them. And if I can't, then I will be very happy to pass them on. As far as declutters go, this was a pretty big fail, but I feel like it was a fail for good reason because I wasn't just clinging to things for the sake of clinging to them, and I also wasn't trying to save them for some sort of hypothetical what-if situation. I can forecast real scenarios in the next couple of months where these primers could potentially show their true value or at least teach me valuable lessons. For example, I'm still in the midst of my makeup course, so I'm still learning how to take advantage of different finishes, and these tools are helping me learn those things. Another example, when it's time for me to replace my foundation, I am sure that I will be thankful to have a couple of different primers with the different finishes that I'm familiar with that can help me learn how to manipulate that new base product. Am I a little frustrated that this declutter didn't go quite as smoothly as some of the other product categories? No. Not really, because this category is just so different. When it came to something like my lipsticks or foundations or powders, those are product categories that I knew inside and out. But when it comes to primers, I'm still just an itty bitty baby. I don't know my stuff yet. For years, I just kind of assumed that primers were a money grab, so I pretty much ignored them. And it's only been, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks since I realized how useful they can be. I don't feel like that's enough time to truly learn the nuances of an entirely new to me product category. So I feel like it would be premature to simply give away products that I'm still unfamiliar with just for the sake of a successful declutter. And this makeup collection overhaul project isn't about perfection anyway. There's no such thing as a perfect collection. This project is simply about giving myself more time and space to enjoy my beautiful things. And if I'm successful in the other areas of my declutter, in the categories in which I have more knowledge of my products, where the declutters are more successful, then that should give me enough time and space to learn what I need to about these primers. And once I've learned those things, I can always come back and declutter them anyway. No one is safe. I still have a whole lot of makeup to declutter, so make sure you're subscribed if you'd like to follow along. I also always love to hear from you, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But even if you don't, I hope you have a great week, and we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.